In this video, we're going to explore the equation of a circle. Where does it come from? What is it? And we're going to talk about how do we take the equation of a circle and put it on a graph. So the first thing we want to talk about is what is the equation of a circle? Where does it come from? So before we do that, let's take a step back and think about what is a circle. Well, a circle could be defined a couple of different ways. It could be defined as like a round shape or something that's perfectly circular or something like that. But let me suggest this definition to you. A circle is all the points that are an equal distance from a center point. Okay, so let's kind of sketch that out here. So let's say I have some center point. I have a right here at 1, 1. Okay. It's all the points that are an equal distance from that center point. So let's say I go out 2 in each direction. So I go out this way 2, I go up 2, I go left 2, I go down 2. I'm sorry, that just went, sorry about that, went to the left 3, down 2, and down 2. All right, so those are some key points, but also I could go maybe up and to the right 2. Now it's 2 full blocks, but it's not like diagonally 2 blocks, right? So it would be something like out here, and I would get one out here and out here, and I could keep doing this the whole way around. Well, how far away is 2 blocks in each direction? And you end up with all the points kind of that wrap around this circle the whole way here, okay? Let's see if we can clean that up a little bit too. All right, and you keep going until eventually you have all the points in this area, and you end up with a circle. Okay, so that's going to be kind of how we think about a circle. We're going to think about a circle as all the points at equal distance from some center point. So in a sense, we have a distance, or what we call a radius. This would be 2, and we have a center point here, which would be 1, 1, and it's all the other points. Now, this should make me think, if it's an equal distance, this should make me think of another formula, and that would be the distance formula. So our distance formula is equal to the square root. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is just a rough video for making straight lines. So x2 minus x1, all of that squared, plus y2 minus y1, all of that squared. So there's my distance formula. Now the way the distance formula works is I plug in 2 points and I get a distance, right? But what we're going to do here is we're going to plug in a distance and 1 point, and we're going to get the equation of a circle. So the distance we have is 2. We want all the things that are equal to 2. Is equal to the square root of. Now, I'm not going to do x2 and x1 because I have one of my x values. So I'm just going to leave one of them as x minus, and then I'm going to do my x value here, which is going to be at 1 plus, and I'm going to do the same thing for my y's, and it also happens to be at 1 because we're at 1, 1 here, okay? And then since we're not solving for distance, let's not deal with this square root. Let's just think of this as squared. So we're going to square both sides. So we get 2 squared is equal to x minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared. So any of the xy coordinates that I can find that oh, sorry, let me bring that back here. Okay, any of the x and y pairs that I can find that make this equation to be true. So like I could plug in this point right here. I could plug in the point at 1, 3, and if I plug that in, it does equal 2 squared. Any of the ones that make it true ends up being on the circle, and any ones that make it false ends up not being on the circle. So let's kind of generalize this out. So here's your formula for the equation of a circle. The equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where h and k are the center of the circle. So they're not variables, they're just placeholders, they're constants. H and k are at the center, and r is the radius. Okay, and then we just plug in x and y values to find our other points. So this is absolutely worth putting in your notes. So if you're taking notes, I would write this down. What we're going to do is we're going to take this form of our circle, and we're going to graph some circles based off of the center and the radius. So here's the first one, x squared plus y squared is equal to 4. Now let's think about what my center is. So my center is equal to my h value and my k value. So remember, h value minus h minus k. Well, in this case, it must be minus 0 on both of them. So that would be a 0, 0 center. and then my radius. Now notice, this is like a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Really, Pythagorean theorem, distance formula, equation of a circle, it's all the same thing applied in different ways. Pythagorean theorem we use with right triangles. Distance we use with 2 points on a graph. Equation of a circle we use to make circles, but it's the same principle behind it. It's the distance using right triangles. So all that to say, notice my radius is not, the radius has to be squared to be the radius. So let me re-say that. So I've got is equal to 4. Well, that's the same as 2 squared, right? I could take the square root of that. So my radius is not 4 here. My radius is equal to 2. All right, now let's go ahead and plot this. So here's my center at 0, 0. I'm going to go 2 in each direction. I'm just going to go ahead and sketch that graph out, just like that. All right, let's try another one. So x minus 1 squared plus y squared is equal to 9. So my center is at 1, positive 1, 0. And my radius, square root of 9, is equal to 3. Now look, notice this says minus 1, but my center is at positive 1. That's because the negatives are built into my formula. So x minus, and then this is the value that I end up with. So let's plot my center is at 1, 0. Let's go 3 in each direction. 3, 3, 3, and 3. Let's kind of sketch the circle out, something like this. All right, let's try one last one here, and you get the idea here. Okay, my center is at negative 3, positive 2. My radius is at 1. The square root of 1 is 1. And let's go ahead and graph it. So negative 3, positive 2, that puts me right here. A radius of 1. I'm just going to go 1 in each direction. I'm just going to go ahead and sketch it out. All right, so that's how we graph a circle from the equation of a circle.